right, so this is Get It Right to the Tara Solutions, a webinar series that takes place every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. I am your host, Grace Nzula. I am HR consultant and trainer with the Tara Solutions. Tara Solutions is a HR consulting and training firm. And if you're here and you're looking for people to train your organizations, please get in touch with us. That is what we do. If you're looking for HR consultants, then we are the people for you. We also do HR manager outsourced. If you're in an organization that does not require full-time HR or even a full-time and you don't want to manage the people, please get in touch with us and we'll be able to support you on that. So this is Get It Right to the Tara Solutions. We're on a mission to change the world through information. And our vision is to empower people through information, of course. And today I have no idea why everything is just slowing down, but we do this in partnership with a number of organizations. Oh yeah, so before we get to the organizations part, I would like to welcome you, if you're on this call, to an event happening this, oh God, I can't even see that as well. Oh, okay, I guess it will load. All right, so there is an event happening on Friday the 19th from 5:30 p.m. at Radisson Blu. This is a roundtable for HR professionals and CEOs. It is about time that we had a conversation. What do CEOs want? And what do HR professionals want from the CEOs? And this is happening on Friday from 5:30 p.m. I'm sure Damaris is on the call and she'll be putting in the link on the channel, on the chat. Damaris, I hope you're here, you can share that. So Get It Right to the Tara Solutions is brought to you by Tara Solutions in partnership with a number of organizations. We have Balcon Housing. Balcon Housing is a real estate and property management company. They are located in Nairobi. Balcon Housing deals with sale of land, and if you have a building that you require property managers, then Balcon Housing will be able to support you on that. And then we have a Stallion Construction Company Limited. Stallion Construction Company Limited, like the name spells it, is a construction company. If you're looking to renovate your home, if you're looking to renovate your office, if you're looking to just maybe make changes around your house or the office that require a construction company, then Balcon Housing will be able to support you on that. And then we have Pathway Solution Services. And today we are privileged to be hosting Frank. Some of you have gotten free trainings from Pathway Solution Services. And today we are hosting the CEO, Mr. Frank Wambari, who is also a relationship coach. And I'll be telling you more about him. So yes, we are in partnership with Pathway Solution Services, which is a training firm. They have been offering training on their LMS that has a lot of content. And when I mean a lot, it's a lot. And then we have the Institute of Pension Management. Institute of Pension Management, like the name spells it, deal with pensions, but they also have a college that trains people on pension management, other diploma courses, and also HR, they offer CHRP. They're accredited for CHRP. If you're a HR professional here, I think the July intake is still ongoing for Institute of Pension Management. They also have online classes, so you don't have to worry about showing up on Ojijo Road. Their college is located on Ojijo Road. So Institute of Pension Management, and they have an event coming up in September, and in due course, I'll be telling you more about them. And then we have Fina Gardens. Fina Gardens Resort is a hotel located in Naivasha along Moi South Lake. Fina Gardens Resort have given us an offer. If you're from Atara Solutions, you just go and say Atara Solutions, or you mention my name. Yes, you can name drop when you get to Fina Gardens. Or if you're looking to contact them and find out more details about them, get in touch with me. Fina Gardens, if you go and say you're from Get It Right or Grace Nzula, you'll be given a 10% discount. And if you're taking a holiday this August, by the way, for those of you who want to go for vacation, staycation, whatever vacation, this August, book 2 nights and get 1 night for free. So if you go on a Thursday, you can stay up to Sunday. If you go on a Tuesday, you have an event there and you're looking for a place to stay. From Tuesday, it takes you, or from Monday, it takes you up to Wednesday, and you'll get at least 1 night free. So Fina Gardens Resort, it's located in Naivasha. Wonderful, wonderful food. Oh my God, they are fish. And then they also have a swimming pool. And then we have WeClean. WeClean is a carpet cleaning company. They have a machine that cleans your carpets within 6 minutes. The call is about over. So if you have a carpet that you're wondering, whose house is this? it needs some TLC, please get in touch with WeClean. We can link you up with them. They do free pickup and delivery around Nairobi, and they do 24-hour delivery. So if they pick up your carpet today, they'll be sure to deliver it to your house tomorrow. Can you imagine that? So you don't have to worry whether it's cold or hot or whatever. WeClean will be able to support you on that. And then we have Kapula Mintito. Kapula Mintito sell coastal goods or snacks. They have mabuyu, like I have never tasted such good mabuyus from coast, I swear. And I'm sure if you buy, you can attest to it. And then they have introduced a new product. They have cashew nut cheese. If you're vegan and you've been wondering what to do about your cheese, then Kapula Mintito have come up with an answer for you. And they do deliveries all over the country, even as much as they're located in Mombasa. And then we have the Career Management Center. This is a HR firm. They have a wonderful, wonderful program for those of you who took a break to become mothers or parents. They coach you and walk the journey with you into winning you back into employment. So don't worry about the career gap. Don't worry about anything that you're wondering whether you'll get a job or not. Then Career Management Center is able to walk the journey with you, and they'll be able to support you on that. And then we have AIMS College of Business and Technology. They are also offering all diploma courses, business courses, security courses. They also offer HR diploma. They also offer CHRP. So we appreciate your partnership, and thank you so much for being here with us. Yes, I can see somebody saying we need to go live on Facebook. We have been trying to go live on Facebook for about a while, and I'm just going to try again now as I wait to introduce our speaker of the day. Now, tell me on the chat, what about relationships is hurts the most, and especially end of a relationship? Yes, let's engage on the chat. What about relationships because relationships really hurt, yeah? So what is it about them that hurt you the most? Yes, keep them coming, keep the answers coming. Keep the answers coming. What about relationships hurt the most? Betrayal, when they end without your consent, when it ends suddenly, deceit, being ghosted. All right. All right, so I'm sure Frank will be telling us more about how we can move on after a breakup or after a relationship has gone sour. And right. So Frank Wambare is a relationship coach. Actually, my computer today is so slow, gosh. He doesn't know that we are really looking forward to the opaqueness of relationships today. But then somebody said I hurt them by using that. I really apologize. I was just using a trending word. And yes. Yeah, I have seen, allow me to recognize the presence of Saidi Ali Kwan. I have also seen Herbert Zakeh. I have also seen Brian Musisi. I have seen Shamim. Oh yeah, so I can confidently say that HR Mao, this is the HR body of Uganda, is well represented on the call. Yes, Maureen Oware. Okay, so yeah. Frank, are you seeing the answers on the chat?
Yes, I can see.
Okay. I don't know why I'm not able to open your profile. Anywho, I guess I'm just going to read something. All right, so our speaker today is Frank Wambare. He's a profound sought corporate trainer, coach, and motivational speaker in the UK, Europe, and developing countries. He's well known for training individuals and organizations by training clients using LMS or e-learning management system. He's also a relationship counselor, mentor, and career advisor. He's the founder and director of Pathway Solution Services Limited. He works lead corporate trainer and LMS instructional specialist. He enjoys training clients face-to-face, virtually, among others. He has two lovely daughters and a wife. They reside in the UK. He's Kenyan and British, works in the UK. In additional to that, he works for Opportunity Center as a career advisor. Whilst in UK, he has worked as marketing executive, immigration case worker, employability coach, business and community engagement officer. And before that, he was in hospitality in Kenya. He has a lot of accreditations, yeah? He's a certified master transformational coach, certified master life coach, certified master mindset coach, certified business and enterprise success coach, certified NLP practitioner, certified life and master certified. I cannot finish them, Frank, today. No, these ones we shall read later. And he's also a HRM advisor and consultant, among others. So I guess we are in good hands this evening. And yes, Frank, tell us, how do we pick up the pieces after a breakup? Because man, oh man, you know, in Kenya, I don't know whether this is the world over, but here we call it character development. I don't know whether you joke about it or whatever you use, but here we call it character development. So tell us, how do we deal with character development?
Thank you very much for giving me an opportunity, and please give me permission to share because it says I'm disabled.
Sorry about that.
No worries. When it comes to good evening, everyone, wherever you are in a part of the continent, and even those who are based in our motherland, I would like to encourage you take heart, irrespective of yesterday's outcome. Sisi tuwe wa Kenya daima, even for those who are not Kenyans on this call, we all support the peace initiative, and let's be our brothers keepers and our sisters keeper. Let's not just be emotional in any way or in any way, form or shape, because at the end of the day, we need one another. So all what I can encourage each one of you is that don't lose hope. Good things are on the way. This topic is, I don't know what has happened there. 1 second. So this topic is far and wide, and I'll deal so much on the relationships, but I'll still also touch about the business part of it and the disruptions that come as a result of the relationship going haywire, and then it end up affecting other parts of our life. So as I'm waiting for the presentation to open, I want to put a disclaimer that for now, I'm not offering any counseling at all. It is just a matter of just speaking as it is, that situations come in life and we find ourselves in a situation whereby we did not expect it to happen. And we find we are in a situation whereby things are not going in the right direction, but we need to make sure that we take up the pieces and we move on. I would like to ask you to put on the chat as I'm opening my presentation, because it's easy for you to follow it up, just in the same context that Grace started. Put on the chat, either if you have had an experience where the relationship broke down, or maybe certain disruptions came to your business because of the relationships, what was the productive cost in terms of yourself as a worker or as an employee in the company? And if you have not experienced a relationship breaking down, have you ever helped somebody, and what did you advise that person? Put it in the chat as I connect on my presentation, please. Do you give up? Did you give up, or what did you do? How did it affect your work, if it did? And how did you manage to move on? I'll speak without sharing the presentation, because there's a problem with the system loading. As you're doing that, I want to give you a context of what happened with one of my friends. And basically, they did a very nice wedding. And after the wedding, then they went for the honeymoon. And then after that, the man never came back when they went for the party. And that was the end of it. And the lady did not see the man after that at all. No mistake that she did or anything, but the man disappeared like that. Then I have another family friend who also, they got a baby together with a boyfriend. And then after that, when the child was born, the man never turned up to see the child, and that was the end of it. He has never seen him in all his entire life, and the child is 25 years.
Frank.
Yeah.
You know, I'm able to share from my end.
Oh, you're able? Okay,
yes.
That's fine. Okay, thank you. So, so there are various situations whereby somebody has found himself or herself in a situation whereby you did not anticipate what was going to happen. And most of the time when these things happen, they are very, very, very painful. And one has to pick up the pieces and move on. We have just come out of the elections. Some people have just gone into massive losses because the businesses, they closed over a long period of time. And as a result of that, that affected the income that they are getting. And considering that next week, the companies will start paying employees, you can imagine what the situation is with many businesses, because they will not have enough cash flow to pay the employees. Now, let me start with the triggers that come into a situation whereby you consider that somebody has left you out. And it will come in different shape and spheres. The first one, loss of a family member, somebody that you depend on, a spouse or a parent. Loss of somebody that is very close to you. Relationship breaking down for no reasons at all, or it could be contributory. Then the issue of maybe you have a boyfriend or a girlfriend and he or she decides to walk away. Or you have somebody who is a controlling freak and he or she does not want to give you a room to move on or to make a decision. I was talking to somebody just 3 months ago, and he told me that when he brought the wife, he could not allow him to, allow her to go with the bus, and he could not even allow the spouse to be anywhere with anybody or even going for the women meetings. And as a result of that, the wife decided to walk away, and that was it. And they never saw one another. And the man was groaning, and he was always in distress and asking, what did I do wrong? What did I do wrong? And he does not have any contacts at all. The issue of untraceable lost family members who have disappeared and you have never seen them anymore. I remember in 1982, there was a family friend that got lost when there was the coup in Kenya. And that family, friend of our family, was really affected. They tried all the means to trace their child, and the kid was in the university, and they never saw the kid at all. There are so many people that have got situation whereby after situation comes in, you don't know what happened, and somebody walks away, or a relative or a brother or a sister is gone. You don't know what happened. Loss due to accidents, locally or globally. You have your relative, you come abroad, or your brother or your sister, and you don't see that person anymore. I know some people who have their wives or their children here, but the wives back in Kenya, they cannot even communicate with them because the man has decided to block the communication, or the wife decided to block the communication completely. And that person lives in a very lonely place. Betrayal by friends, or it could be a spouse going abroad. I know one case, somebody just came here, stayed for about 20 years. Then he kept telling the wife he still loves him. And one time the man went back Kenya, he sold the property they had, and he said he wanted to buy a better property. Little the wife did he know that the man has disappeared back to UK. It was a very painful thing to that family, and we knew them. Bullying and intimidation and terminal sicknesses, all that can really affect somebody in a very, very great way. So after you left, this is important in the sense that you have reached in a situation you have lost. Either the person has walked away out of the relationship, the person might have told you or not told you, you have lost somebody through untraceable situation, or you have lost somebody because the person have moved abroad. It's a painful thing. If we think about the most recent things that affected the businesses, the issue of COVID-19 that affected the businesses and affected the individuals. This had a big consequences because some of the people, they lost all their pension that they had worked for by putting the investments. Business failing, and you really wonder, what did I do wrong? Homelessness, you are evicted. Some people in 2007, in the case of Kenya, where there was tribal crashes and some people have never been able to go back to their county or their places they used to call home. Debt and money crisis. You find yourself having the criminal record affected because of debt and crisis. Lots of close relatives that you know of. I would like you now to do one thing for me. Put in the chat, what was the feeling by then when any one of those situations that I've mentioned occurred? What was the feeling? What were the emotions that were going on by then? Or what did you do? You can answer one or two questions or one. And if you, in case you have helped somebody who have gone through this bad situation or stressing situation, what did you do and how did you help that person? Put in the chat before I tell you how you can deal with after you left, what next. As you are doing that, I'll tell you another story to you that I know somebody also, they did the wedding, they stayed for 2 years and the wife just left with somebody else. And that was it. There was no communication as to why she decided to do that way. There are so many cases that I've done a lot of research whereby it could be wife, it could be husband walking away. And there's no communication at all why this has happened. So after he left or after she left, what next? Now, the next slide, I want to talk to you about what happens basically when somebody decides to walk away. You become confused. You enter into the state of fight or flight. You start stagnating. You don't know whether to go back to employment. If you have business, you don't know whether to go back to the business. You don't know whether to seek help. You do not know whether to seek support. I'll sample your replies later on. But these are some of the things that happen immediately. And the distress can be a lot, can be massive. And depending whether you have some support mechanisms in place, you may find yourself in a situation whereby you are nail biting, or you decide, you know what, life has come to my head and I'm taking the rope. Nakwambia usichukue kamba ati kwa sababu mtu ameondoka. It doesn't pay. If it has happened, accept it, move on. You do not have to take away your life. You only need to accept, move on. Of course, there's the 5 stages of grieving process, but because we don't have time, I'll not talk about them. But you may need to follow the 5 steps of grief process. Having said that, the next thing that you need to decide and fairly quickly is to use the theory of Carl Dweng, who came up with the theory of fixed mindset and growth mindset. Somebody who has fixed mindset, what he or she will do, she just sees problems and keeps complaining, says, I cannot be charged, I will go and refage, I will stick to what I know, and they get frustrated and they give up, and every day they are complaining. But when you have a growth mindset, you use that as a learning curve to move on and to say, the challenges are going to help me to move on. And you'll be willing to say, you know what, I can learn new things. Next is that in case you are in business, then obviously there are some things that you need to remember. Robert Schuller said, tough times never last, but tough people remain. You may have some tough people that are making very, very difficulty for you to move on, but you can just say, like Robert Schuller, who used to preach in America, that tough times never last, but tough people remain. The situation may remain, some people may remain, but I'll move on. So from the business perspective, if you have lost your business either because of some situations that I mentioned earlier, or because you are unable to continue with the business because you have lost your spouse that you used to depend on, what do you do? Put in the chat. How do you move on from the business perspective? As you put your ideas in the chat, I want to tell you what John Shedd said. A ship in the harbor is safe, but that is not what the ship was built for. So you need to remember that the ship is safe in the harbor, but that is not what it was built for. It was built to go to the sea, to the waters, and where the oceans might be. Ocean storms might be, and other challenges. So from the business perspective, if you're unable or you're finding difficulties or you found difficulties that particular time to move on, or as a result of elections happening, whatever has impacted you, and you feel like, I don't know where to start. Let me give a perspective here, a very simple one. Before the elections, £1 was changing to 141 shillings. After elections, the shilling was, the pound was changing with £148. So the shilling lost value considerably a lot. And therefore, for somebody who is buying things from here, he ends up paying a lot of money. Whereas somebody selling the tea from that side and coffee and flowers end up getting more money in that aspect. But still, when you ship things, you have to pay more expensive. So anyway, the situation has happened to you. What do? The first thing is you need to reflect. Take time, retreat asunder, and think what has happened. It could be a business, it could be investment. Think, is it worth to go back to the same business? Or do I need to start afresh? Or do I need to go to employment? Then have you written down your companies and individuals that you owe the money? Because when you have lost the spouse that you used to depend on, or you have lost your parents that you used to depend on, or your business has gone down in an unprecedented situation that you did not think about it. So what do? Write your debts down, the money, the mortgages that you owe the banks. Have you paid your suppliers, or do you have money to pay your suppliers? Do you have money to pay the employees, and they will be looking for the salaries and wages? And if you don't pay, they will be threatening you. Have you spoken to your bank or your microfinance to discuss the payment options? Have you sought professional legal advice? Have you spoken to somebody like a business coach? Do you need to speak to a counselor who can be able to help you? So these are some of the things that you need to reflect on before things get elephant. So there's this guy, Lopez. I like what Lopez said, because Lopez said that when things are really, really bad, that is the best time to reinvent yourself. And myself, as Frank Wabali, in 2022, I'm saying, you must make up your mind, have positivity approach to walk, run or crawl. If you cannot run, you crawl, but you cannot stop moving with life transactions or business simply because somebody has walked away from your life. So even if you may forget anything I say today, remember that from the business perspective, when things are bad, according to George Lopez, it is time to reinvent. And my quote is, you must make up your mind, have a positive approach. You need to start walking. If you cannot walk, you run, or if you cannot run, you crawl. But you cannot stop moving with life or business simply because someone has walked away from your life that you depended upon. So let's move on. 8 things that you need to avoid. Very important. When the disruptions have affected you and somebody has walked out of your life, not due to your own mistake or due to your own making, or because certain situations or occurrences have happened and affected you. Number 1, you need to sit down. You cannot sit down and do nothing or decide to go to the rural area, rural home, because you don't have money to pay the debts. Remember, if you destroy your criminal record, if you destroy your good record, even if you go in the rural area for 20 years, you might decide to come back to the city and find that you cannot find decent jobs because your CRB is affecting you completely. You cannot sit down to mourn, grumble, complain. Yes, you may cry, you may have the time for mourning and shouting and all that kind of thing, but you need to pick up pieces and move on. You cannot continue being reactive or refuging with anyone who comes across, because some people, that's what they do. They just start blaming everyone every time they meet with somebody. I've seen even people, even not only Africans, I've seen even the white people here. Somebody, a situation happens like that, somebody has walked away or the business has collapsed and somebody decides to walk talking to each person that he meets across, irrespective whether he or she knows the person. You cannot refuse to share or open up to your spouse or your partner or the family member who has remained. You cannot refuse to seek mental health before things deteriorate, because if you do, things gonna go bad and they might become an elephant. You cannot go looking for a sponsor, because the sponsor you might get when you are in a vulnerable position might become a termite and might become a burden later on, and you may regret why did you allow. Never get into a relationship, personal or business, very quickly unless you know what you're doing. Now, I want to pause there for questions and answers before I move to the next section. Please feel free to ask me any question, please.
Frank, maybe I can start because...
And move the next slide, Grace, yeah. Okay.
As we wait for the audience to pose a question, sometimes there's this mourning period, and that mourning period sometimes gets you into depression, like, or rather sometimes people are not aware that they are going through this phase, but yet they're going through it. What can they do?
3 things. First, you need to reflect, as I said, is very important. And in case that person does not know that he or she needs to do, whoever is close to that person needs to tell the person to reflect what happened and try to pick pieces and learn from it. The other thing is you need to forgive. You cannot continue carrying the records of those who hurt you and say, I'll never, never forgive, I'll never, never forgive. Because the more you keep that situation like that, the more it holds you. And maybe the person who hurt you walked away without even giving you a notice or telling you why he or she walked. He or she might be celebrating somewhere else and doing whatever he or she is doing. But you need to accept the situation. You need to seek professional help and you need to move on.
Okay, I've seen somebody say it took them 13 years of stagnation and blaming self before recovering and deciding to move on. Is that a normal phase? 13 years is such a long time.
Yeah, it's true. It can take a long time. One family friend and that I met 3 weeks ago, um, she had a child with another man, and a man that they used to be boyfriend together. I mean, boyfriend, girlfriend. They were in Form 3. And basically since then, her son is 25 years old. He has never met that man at any given time. And the man has never even come to see the son. So she was telling me, I can't forgive and I'll never forgive. And she was telling me she cries all night when she thinks about it. So it can take longer time, and especially if somebody has not sought help.
Okay, so advice is to seek help.
And to seek help, yeah, and talk about it with somebody who is confident.
Okay. And then Rahab is saying, please talk about something, please talk something about loss of an income and sinking into debt.
I'll talk briefly because there's a slide on that. But basically from the business perspective, what I can say, and especially now that you have done elections there, and some of the businesses are really, really affected, and there's no capital to move on. Sometimes you may need to take a part-time job. Why? Because you need a capital to keep moving. You also need to talk to your bank. Be honest with your bank or your microfinance or your Safaricom, where you might be getting some money from them, and say, look, the situation is like this. Please give me a breather. I'm trying to recollect myself and have a turnaround.
Okay. I think we can move on.
Okay, we can move on, yes. So after you left, how do you pick the pieces? As I said several times, the issue of reflection or doing a reflection is very, very important, because if you don't, then you may find yourself in a very difficult situation. The other thing is you need to be honest with yourself, because the thing is it happened and life has to continue. It is not the end of the world. I have seen some people here in UK, and I've read even stories in America and other developed countries. Somebody, like for example, in my city, there was this lady from Nigeria. The man cheated on the wedding, on their marriage, and the lady went and jumped to a nearby bridge, just a few miles from where I live, and she died because she jumped in a night and there was nobody who was there to rescue her. There are some people who take away their lives. Please don't. Usijinyonge. Jamaa ameendelea na maisha na wewe unasunguka. Just reflect, seek help early, be honest yourself, don't blame yourself, and if it was your mistake, just forgive, move on. Be determined to run from the situation. And also, do not embrace power of gratitude. The power of gratitude is going to help you massively. Be thankful to God and say, you know what? Kwa sababu hakuniua, he or she did not kill me, and have my hands and have my might, I can move on. God, I'm grateful it has happened when I'm still alive. Some people, they may be hurt, they may be beaten by the time the spouse moves away, but you can still pick the pieces and say, as long as I'm alive, I'll move on. There's a book called Habakkuk, for those who read the Bible, chapter 3, verse 17, which says that even though the fig tree does not produce and there are no sheep in the pen, and there's no income, there's no nothing coming, yet I'll still move on. So the other thing you need to do, write a forward plan with actions written, with action plan. What it is that list down, for example, how much money do I owe and who do I owe? And start with the most risky debts, things like mortgage, things like long-term loans you have with the bank, things like debentures, because those ones, if you don't pay, they will come for you very, very fast. Think about the children, by the way. If it happens and you're left with the children, make sure you also explain the children what is going on. They may not be able to handle all the pressure, but try to explain to them that you need to move on. I highly advise seek early help. early intervention will help you. This will be with professionals or other people you can trust. Accept help. This is very important. And in case you do not have a job or your job has finished or the business is going down completely, either you get to another job or try to volunteer so that as you volunteer, you have somebody to talk to when you are working or even you are distracting your mind. Seek legal advice. It's good you look for the lawyers who may not, or solicitors who may not charge you a lot of money or who may be able to give free advice so that you are able to know how to go on. The other thing is seek employment very soon. Either it could be full-time or part-time, but in case you have the job, talk to the HR in confidence and say, this is what has happened. I might not be very productive as I used to do. Could you allow me to work part-time as I try to have the transition to come back properly? The other thing is retrain. You need to undertake some trainings that will help you or some qualifications, because maybe you used just to work as a housewife and you had no other qualifications, and now it has reached a time you'll be the breadwinner. And remember, the transitions, as I said earlier on, could happen because of somebody walking away or somebody passing away or somebody walking untraceable and you don't know where he has gone, or it could be the parent and your children and you have been left out. Join a network, like for example, Atara Solutions, because you can be sure Atara Solutions every Tuesday will bring somebody who will speak something that will evoke your mind and will create some energy and also bring fresh air. So join some people who can add value. The other thing is keep your family together for those who have remained, and keep your children updated what's going on. And lastly, embrace the growth mindset, not fixed mindset, as I had said earlier. That's very important. Steve Jobs said this way, I'm convinced that about half of what separates successful entrepreneurs from non-successful ones is pure perseverance. So from the business perspective, or even from the life perspective, when things have come elephant, dofu, and you have to pick pieces, you need to develop perseverance, because it will help you to develop that patience and resilient spirit. And another guy called Drew Houston said this way, don't worry about the failure. You only have to be right once. So use the failures as an opportunity to run from the situation. Whether it's you caused the failure or not, whatever it is, learn from it. Crossing words or as you pick the pieces. Number one, you need to associate and connect with the people that can help you build your dream. Make sure you associate with people that can help you to move and with your business or with your job, and people that will bring the value. Number two, stop wasting and complaining and waging. Life has to continue. It is not the end of the world. And please, usikunywe dawa ya panya. Hapana, life has to continue. Embrace power of gratitude. Shukuru Mungu. Thank God because you are alive and you can still continue. Have faith in God and pray as well. He can change things. Even you remember, and most people they do believe in the Old Testament. There are so many people that we see there, that somebody like Hannah who waited for a child for many years, and God still came to her rescue. There was sometime there was a drought. Sorry, I'm not preaching, but there was some drought, and Elijah just caused the rain to come when he prayed his God. But there was a time that things were elephant, and Elijah went to a cave and hid himself, and he told God, kill me, because I'm now tired of being chased by the people who want to kill my life. But instead, God gave him barbecue and he said, move on. So move on. Seek professional life helpers and legal consultants who can help you. Also, you may wish to contact your DPP, Deputy Prosecutor in your country, or the Office of Deputy Prosecutor in the country where you are, or human rights, so that they can guide you on what are the legal rights that you have. Talking to the counselors and the relationship people is very, very important. And as I said, seek early help. Try to retrain, get some qualifications or some skills that will help you to move on. It's very important you have an anchor. An anchor is a support system that will help you when somebody has walked away, when the business has to close down because of unprecedented events, or you find somebody have decided to betray you and you find you have been accused for no apparent reason and you find yourself in prison or somewhere else you did not plan to be. Have some close friends that you can trust. Attend professional forums like Atara Solutions and others where you can run something and have a counselor. Having said that, I would like to tell you what Aristotle said. Aristotle said, excellency is not an art won by training or habitual or habits. We do not act lightly because we have a virtue of excellence, but we have, but we rather have those because we have acted right and what we repeatedly do. Excellency then is not an act, but a habit. So don't have a habit of groaning, complaining, waging, staying idle, not moving on and complaining and blaming everyone for what happened. Just make a habit of moving on. It's very important. So now I come to questions and answers. Before that, reinventing yourself. I would like to say that do not move fairly quickly. Just take a bit of time before you move to another relationship. And if you're going to start another business, do not just go start like that. Have some coach, have some mentors who can help you. I said last year, you are never too old to reinvent yourself. So irrespective of the stage of life you are, you still can reinvent yourself and you can move on. You can dream it. If you can dream it, then every dream is valid. You only need to be willing and work on it. So I post there, then you ask me some questions or comments, or you can add on.
All right, Frank, allow me to stop sharing screen because I need to view the questions. And I like a number of questions that have come, but just to top up on what you said, I remember when I left employment, one of my mentor, James, I think he's on this call, he told me, when you're out here, be careful who you share with, because some people will not give you solutions and some people will also betray you. And I've seen somebody who is asking on the Q&A saying, when you have to face, okay, wait, no, there's somebody who said something about betrayal after sharing. What happens when you confide in a friend, but you're still betrayed?
It's very tricky. I mean, and that's why I'm insisting over and over again, the issue of reflecting, because sometimes you may think, okay, Grace is a very good friend of mine, so I'm gonna go and confide whatever happened, and that's why my friend walked away. But sometimes you don't know whether that thing you're going to share, the next time Grace goes for a coffee, she's going to go and start working and sharing with somebody. Like, for example, us here in the West, we know how white people work, that the minute you share something, the next time they go for a cigarette is talking to somebody else about what you talked. And you feel betrayed. Why did I talk to somebody that I thought could keep it? Even when you say, please keep with yourself, die with it. But the next minute somebody is smoking or having a cup of coffee, so-and-so was telling me the wife walked away. So-and-so was telling me the husband walked away. So what I can say, the issue of betrayal is real, but if it happens, move on, don't keep grumbling. The pain will be there and the scar will be there, but move on.
All right, and yeah, There's somebody else who's saying, how do you move on if it's marriage relationship and you live together, but you left each other a long time ago?
The situation is that just like the way I said about the scar, even if it's an existing relationship and somebody has left you, or you left the person because of the things that could not work between the two of you because of the chemistry, the feelings will be there and the heart will be there, because especially if you have children together, then that means at some point you'll be getting the children to visit you, or you'll be going to collect the children. And the minute you reach that gate or that house, the pain starts triggering. Whichever the situation you are, just make up your mind, picking the pieces and say, I'm gonna move on. Maji kimwagika haisoreki, but I can move on.
Frank, we have Ugandans here. They will kill me for your use of Swahili.
So what I said is when the water drops down, just you know you cannot pick it, but you can move on.
Yeah, when you spill water, you cannot collect. So Mercy is saying, how do you deal with the person who doesn't want to communicate despite correcting the person several times?
Human beings are very funny because of their dynamics. Because as I said about growth mindset and fixed mindset, there are some people who are not willing to change. And because of that, no matter how much you tell the person, will decide, I'm not going to change. And so what you can do the good things. Faith without works is dead. So you do the good thing, and of course, ask God to give you grace, because when you are dealing with somebody who is annoying you every single day, it's not easy to continue doing the good things. But you just decide, I'm not going to revenge, I'm not going to fight. Because if you decide to fight, you might find you have knocked somebody, destroyed the dental formula, and you may find yourself in prison.
How do you handle an ex-partner who put up walls or failed to communicate with you after separation, especially where co-parenting is involved? They ignore even the child.
The best thing I could say is two things. One is that the person had decided to walk away. It is not who you walk, it is not yourself that walked away. And therefore, you must make the mind and say, look, even if hata nitasumbuka na mtoto wangu, kama amekataa kunisaidia, I'll move on with my kid. Number two, I'm not going to be following the person, ndio afikirie yeye ndiye my sponsor. Think that he is my sponsor. If he was my sponsor, he would have stuck with me. Yes, the kids are there, yes, but if he does not want to help, I have to move on.
Okay. Can you talk about, okay, maybe I can add about the co-parenting part. I think it is very important that you realize what your role is in the life of this child. And I know it kills us as mothers, especially, or as parents, when the other partner is not present in their lives. But it's you who has to decide what role you're playing in that child's life. So you can actually promise yourself that you're going to be the best parent this child has ever come across. And you also, if it's a mother who is not present in their child, you can look for a mother figure. If it's a father who is not present, you can hook them up with a father figure and make sure that the child is not lacking, but also deal with your emotions and forgive yourself for whatever it is, and also learn to forgive the other partner. And if they come, I mean, it's up to you. And at the same time, and I think we're going to have a topic on that, on setting boundaries, yeah, for all of us. But yeah, back to you, Frank. Somebody is saying, can you also talk about abusive relationships?
Abusive relationships, there are so many, and unfortunately, it affects the women more. There are some men that are also affected, but women are so much affected because of somebody controlling the wife or the girlfriend or the partner, and taking advantage of vulnerability. And especially in Africa, because in the Western world, you cannot. In fact, here the women have more power than men. But in African setup, the women most of the time are to be heard. although we should embrace that every person is equal in the eyes of God and even in the eyes of law. So what I would say is, if the abusive relationship is happening, whoever is being abused, first thing is you need to seek early help. That's first and foremost. Number two, in case the person who is abusing you doesn't know, try to create a time you could go for a coffee or a meal somewhere, and then you talk to the person and say, you know what, your actions that you do to me, they are not present, they are not great, I feel offended. Number three, if you have a best couple, try to involve them so that they can talk to both of you. Number four, if the issue is life-threatening, please don't sit down there, walk away, because the next thing you might find yourself, you are in another part of the world, not even this world. So first thing I say, if it's something that you can be able to talk and look for an opportunity in a good place that you could talk the issues. If it's not possible, have your best couple to, intervening. Number three, if it's possible for the father-in-law and mother-in-law to be involved, or parents to be involved, that can be great if it's possible. The other thing is seek professional help. And number five, if it's life-threatening, walk away.
Also see a counselor.
Yes,
see
seek
a therapist.
professional help.
Yeah. And oh yeah, I like this question. What about fallout due to office politics that result in toxic work environments and cultures, and mediation is not working or did not take place altogether? How do you cope here, knowing very well that resignation is not an option yet without a plan B?
That person who have asked you that question, he or she should give you an email. I'm going to give her a free course on dealing with office politics. And upon successful passing 65% and above, will get a certificate, but at the same time, he is going to get the knowledge on how to deal with office politics. But on the nutshell, because there might be other people dealing with such issues, first thing, don't take sides, because there might be one manager taking this side and another taking side, but you do not know what the full picture. So if you decide to join one part, then they later team up together, then you may find out you do not have a job. Or if you are working in a big organization, they might, with the national geographical distribution, they can decide to throw you to Mandera or to Kana or another part of the world, simply because they will say you are the one meddling on the affairs. So don't take sides. Try to talk to somebody that you can trust. And most of the time, the HR, they are very, very good. Try to talk to your HRM, and he or she will be able to help you. In case you are not able to reach the HR and you are writing emails to HR and he or she is not responding, if you have a trade union, then talk to the trade union. They may be able to help you. If not, talk to somebody who is a professional outside your organization, but somebody that you can trust, and seek professional advice.
Frank, you have referred to HR severally, and my friend and I were talking about it the other day when I shared the flyer, and they were like, sometimes HRs are the people who sort out the other people, but who sorts out the HR?
I will tell you from the NHS here in UK. NHS is National Hospital Services, who provide the hospital services, because here the hospitals are free. The only thing you pay is prescription, and therefore everyone has to see the doctor at some point. And also there's a lot of routine issues that you have to go and see doctors. And as well, there's a lot of mental health issues here. So what am I trying to say? So what they have provided is that every person who works with mental health here, and even working in a profession as a doctor or a social worker, you are given a supervisor who will do your supervision. The supervisor is not mainly even to correct you, but there's somebody who provides an anchor system, somebody you go and talk to at the end of the day or every now and then, and saying the difficulties you are going through. So the HRM, they also need to have some support systems in place, because imagine I was talking to another HR just another day, who is based in Africa. And he said that how the boss has been telling her to sack people anyhowly. And this was affecting her so much. When she go home, she won't even sleep. The only person she can talk to is with the husband. But even if she gets some advice from the husband, still the husband won't prevent the boss from telling the HR to do some things which might be bad. Because legally, if those people, they go to court and the case is challenged, the HR has to stand in court. So what I can say, the HR need to have a support system. If you have a good CEO, he or she can become a good anchor. If not, you need to seek some external help at some point.
And somebody is asking, what of people who cannot afford therapy?
I believe there are some counselors that might be able to provide free services. And I also think that, I don't know, because I've not been there for many years now, but I think human rights, Kenya Human Rights, they may be able to provide some services. And I also think that in case it's something that goes to court and you do not have a legal representation, the court will provide one. But because I said early intervention help, the thing is you need to, if you do not know somebody you can talk to, try to talk to a professional organizations and ask them. Or if not, try to Google and see whether you get some organizations that can provide some free services.
Yeah, and quite a number of churches. I think CITAM offers some free counseling. ICC also does. So you can just walk in and book up with them. And yeah, you can also check out our chat. I've seen a lot of people talking about toxic workplaces. We've done a toxic work environment from a mental health perspective. You can check that out on our YouTube channel. It's actually there. And yeah, Mercy, welcome. You're a first time here. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is Get It Right with the Tara Solutions. We are here every Tuesday from 8 p.m. to nowadays around 9:15. And yeah, we demystify issues in entrepreneurship and employment, anything that affects employers, anything that affects employees. We try to demystify those. And now somebody is asking, what of the people who want to stay in emotionally abusive relationships because of kids?
It's important because sometimes we have to shed our own pride, even when we know that it's painful. And I'm saying this with a lot of care, because the shoe wearer is the one who knows where the pain is. Mwenye kiatu ndiye anajua pale uchungu huko. So, because the children need some help, and because if the children are left, and especially if you have girls, you have to be very careful, because if another person comes to look after your girls, another man who is not their father, you have heard what happened, especially in Kenya during the lockdown, a lot of incest and many other things that happened. You do not want a situation you don't know where your daughter is, and not only even daughters, even sons. So you can bear with it for some time because of the sake of your children, but early help may help quite a lot, and seeking counselor or a coach.
Yeah, I think you can use the time to plan, but you'll also need to deal with the emotions and not start and take personal responsibility. That means you stop complaining, you stop blaming each other, and now figure out a way to plan yourself so that because you can't really thrive in a place where it's not, you're not growing. You can't thrive in a place where you feel like you're muted and everything. But there's somebody who's saying, how do you walk away from controlling parents when you're 30, especially when they are financially controlling?
I would honestly tell the person at that years, you are even too old, actually. You should have even left your parents when you are 20, 22 years. I really admire my parents, because when they were 55 years old, already the last kid was just in the college. And by the time they were reaching 60 to receive their pension, already everyone had left the nest and was independent. Because the more you stay, if you think about this, if you are that years now, and then you get married today, or you get a partner, say you take 2 years before you get a child, you'll be 32 years. By the time you add the school years, 16 years, that means the first kid will be 40. By the time he finishes the school, you'll be 48 years. By the time he goes to college or university, that time yourself, you'll be reaching 55, 56. And by the time you think about buying the house or this or the other, you are even nowhere to be able to afford those mortgages. So talk to your parents, tell them being independent is most important thing they can leave you, because if they are not there and they used to do everything for you, you'll not be able to stand your own independence with your own feet.
Okay. And an interesting question here. I requested for a transfer from the GM. HR approved, but the manager resourcing has refused to action. It's a year down the line. What do I do?
Sometimes it's good to read the red flags, and not only job, even a workplace. Because if somebody is refusing your transfer and you have a very genuine reason why you want the transfer, the next thing you need to talk to your HRM. Talk about it, explain why you need that transfer. Obviously, as an organization, they must see if there's a place for you to go, and if you go there, who is going to take the possession. Because we have to remember, organizations are there to make bottom line or make profits. Even if they pay your wages and everything, at the end of the day, they must make money for the shareholders. So talk to your employer and understand why he or she is refusing to allow transfer. And then see and explain your situation. Then you may come up with terms, an understanding, maybe stay where you are for 2 years or 3 years. After that, we train somebody who is going to come and take over. Let me give an example with my younger sister. At some point, she was transferred to Mombasa, and those days is when malaria in Mombasa. So it was a situation as a family, we were advising her, don't go, because utapata malaria ile baya. You get malaria which can bring mental and all that kind of thing. But my dad, in his own wisdom, together with the mom, they said, you go, but ask the boss that if an opportunity opens up, that he or she should be able to consider giving you an opportunity for transfer. And that's what happened. My sister went to Mombasa for 3 years. Then an opportunity opened, and she was transferred to where she was married.
All right. And I have quite important information here from Irene Kemashe. She says, IHRM, in collaboration with Chiromo Hospital Group, offer support to HR professionals in Kenya. First session is free and a discounted rate for IHRM members. So you all HR professionals here who are looking for somebody to support the HR professionals, here you are. IHRM, in collaboration with Chiromo Hospital Group, offer support to HR professionals in Kenya. First session is free and a discounted rate for IHRM members going forward. So if you're an IHRM member, please don't suffer by yourself. They're partnered with Chiromo Hospital Group to offer support to you. This is who takes care of the caregiver, and you are that. And yeah, I think, gosh, I don't know whether we can exhaust this. Lucy Minor, please get in touch with me. I believe you have my number, and if you don't have, I'm sure you have my email address. I will need to speak to you because of to understand the series of what you're going through. Frank, somebody else is saying, how can I get in touch with you? Stella Mbura is saying, how do I get your services in terms of office politics that have destroyed my career? Frank will put up his contact details there. And thank you so much, Justin Biwoye. He says there are not only Ugandans on the call that need to understand English, or we stop using Swahili. So yeah, thank you very much for joining us. Wow, we have quite a number of questions. I am young in HRM, but currently at home because of toxic boss who was all the time telling me fire them. The death of my partner gave me more thought to keep off this toxic environment. Thanks for this particular session. It has given me crucial heads up. Yeah, early marriage is a factor to consider. Wow. Aha. Excellent. All right. So Lucy Minor, please get in touch with me. There's also, I think the last question we'll ask about Albert, who says, so he said she woke up enough and filed. I was surprised but not shocked. I accepted every condition she gave, but she has turned out very bitter. Yet I am actually happier without her. But now picking pieces, of course, more especially dealing with the kids. Now, how do I handle a situation where the kids are telling me that they are uncomfortable in my space, Frank?
It's a very tricky situation because the thing is in the mobile technology that we have in the social network, you may never have a full picture on whether they are communicating with your spouse who walked away and who had created a very difficult situation with you. So it's a situation of talking to the kids and, saying, I'm able to provide to you. This is what I do for you every time. However, should the situation reach that you feel, you need to talk to your mom or you want co-parenting both parents, fair enough, that's fine. But if they decide that, they don't want you for now, let them go, because what happens is that time is a healer. They may go for some time, but after some time, they will come back to you because you have not treated them.
Mm-hmm. All right. And I think the last question will be, can you practice emotional move on if it's not feasible to physically move on from your abuser?
It's a bit hard. I won't tell you that it's an easy thing. And as I said, the shoe wearer is the one who feels pain. So what I can only say is that you may need first to have early intervention. Try to talk to the person if the person can listen. If the person cannot listen, try to see if the best couple can come in. If not, see if there are some other people that you may talk to. And if you are seeing people who are betraying you all the time, then try to seek professional advice.
Okay.
And Grace, there's somebody who asked you go to the slide that had 15 points. He asked about 5 minutes ago.
On it. And as we get that done, we still have offers from Frank. He has offered to train your organizations. He has offered to train your you guys individually. Oh God, okay. Okay. Sometimes the technology has skills.
Yeah.
As we process. So we have offers from Pathway Solutions. You guys can get training. And I forgot to mention, this webinar series is brought to you by Atara Solutions in partnership with Balcon Housing and Stallion Construction Company Limited. The 15 things to do to pick up the pieces: reflection, meditate, and accept the reality. You can retreat in a quiet place for healing. Be honest with yourself and don't jump into new relationships with healing first. Be determined to learn from a situation. Learn the lessons from your failures or root causes that made you fail. Do not blame yourself. Sometimes it's not your own contribution to it. Embrace power of gratitude. Write a forward plan with action plans broken down. And then seek early help intervention, accept help, try volunteering during your free time. This can be bring quick healing. Seek legal advice and professional help. Seek some employment or full-time or part-time if business has ceased or current job. Retrain, undertake new training courses or qualifications. Join a network or a forum that will enhance your value addition, for example, Atara Solutions. And then keep in touch with your family and keep your children updated. And then embrace growth growth mindset and not fixed mindset. Those are the 15 things to do to be able to move on. And I believe, Harriet, we have covered what you needed. Is that okay? Okay. Sawa, I have seen your comment. I guess that's good. Now, for the person who is saying, can you practice emotional move on if it's not feasible to bring on? I would say you can if you know what to do. Yeah. Sometimes you learn, you teach yourself how to move on, you teach yourself how to forgive yourself and forgive others, and then you're able to also now think clearly. But there's somebody who has said, how do you when you have to when it still hurts, what does one do? And then when you have to face the person every other day, how do you work on healing at that point?
The first and foremost is that positive mindset is very important. What do I mean by that? Is first understand everyone goes through situation, but nobody goes the same situation same way. So we are all going through one situation to another. That's number one. Number two is that talking about it, talking therapy is very important. But because from your questions, the person you're supposed to talk to is not willing to listen to you or change, then the next thing is try to have somebody who is a confident that you can talk to, and don't talk from the angle of blaming or talking bad about your spouse. Try to seek help and advice in order to deal with the situation. And again, I said the issue of best couples in case you are in a married relationship. And also by the way, also reading books. There's a lot of books that, like the ones written by David Gottman or the 5 languages of love. They are very, very good. You can learn a lot of things.
Yeah, and like my therapist said, learn how to draw boundaries. I am pro therapy, so learn how to draw boundaries as well. Can you please share the slide on closing words? How do you go about closure? Now, before we get there, we have offers from Pathway Solutions. 3 people will get 2 trainings each, and the trainings on offer today are anger management, building online business, problem solving and decision making, anger management, and dealing with rejection and failure. Dealing with rejection and failure will be a Zoom meeting open to everyone, which has a limit of 100 people. I guess, Frank, you'll communicate when that will be. If you want to attend, you can send us an email. And if you look at your screen, you can see my email and that of Frank. Please make sure you get the spelling correctly, especially Pathway Solution Services. Pathways has an S and then solution starts. Pathways and then solution services. Yeah. Frank at Pathways Solution Services.co.uk, and mine is Grace at atarasolutions.co.ke. So please send us an email with the paragraph on why you want to be sponsored. This is free, by the way. You'll be trained on the LMS. 3 of you will stand a chance to win this training by Pathway Solution Services. And then the offer for companies. So if you want your company trained on Zoom, Frank will do that in the month of October. And the options for the company training will be stress management. They will also work from work home balance life, managing customer service, time management, top 10 skills that you need, managing difficult people, managing pressure and maintaining balance, and then building relationships for success in business. So write an email with subject heading company training. Please make sure that your subject is company training. And then these are virtual trainings which will be delivered via Zoom or Google in around October. And then please write a paragraph on why your company should gain this free sponsorship. And then you need to confirm your interest as soon as possible, and then select at least 2 of the courses or 1 of the 10 courses, or rather the 8 courses on offer. So please, I hope you have taken note and you'll take advantage of this to have your people trained for free by Pathway Solutions. Post the emails here, please. All right, where is my team today? Wow, where is Jacinta? Where is Kevin? I don't know where they are today. Grace at Ataras. Frank, you can help me type in your email address as well. I know it will be faster because you know it. Yes, I have displayed the trainings. Brian, have you finished the others? If you finished, I'm sure Frank will offer you more. Yeah, so hey, how do you find closure? Rose Gashoka is asking, how do you find closure? Rose Gashoka, can I answer as Frank is typing? Closure is overrated. What are you closuring for? Just heal. It's all the closure you need. Heal from the trauma, heal from all that. Yeah, so Frank has put in his email address and I've put in mine. Please write to me and Frank and we will be able to give you that. Yes, I am waiting for your certificate, Brian Musisi. When I see it, I'm sure Frank will give you 5 more trainings. Isn't that so, Frank? Brian is from Uganda. Our friend Brian.
Brian already has got 4 courses, so I offer him 2 courses now.
Sikia, Frank, you Brian. Then when I come to Uganda, you'll take me to downtown. Anyway, so Frank, your parting shot.
My parting shot is you can make it again, even better than in the past. If you have faith in God, work on your goals, develop resilient spirit, and agree to move on. And when it's the time to seek early help, please do not be embarrassed. Seek help. Na usikunywe dawa ya panya. Don't take rats medicine or whatever.
Poison.
Just, yeah, poison. Just realize that there's better things to come.
Excellent. Right. So I was sharing, there's this dinner happening on Friday this month. Friday, we are going to be slaying at Radisson Blue. And I hope you guys are coming, all of you. We have CEOs and HR leaders round table. We are having a conversation with CEOs and HR leaders on Friday on 19th from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 at Radisson Blue in Upper Hill. Cost is 4,500. This will be this Friday. Please, it's an opportunity for you to slay, dress up and show up. Come and listen. Come and let's debunk the C-suite. Let's figure out what do the CEOs want from HR, and also HR, what are our expectations of CEOs? I've seen a lot of people complaining about toxic bosses and all that. We are going to have that round table with the CEOs, and they're going to be answering all these questions. Please do not be left out. It is 4,500. Come dine with us at Radisson Blue in Upper Hill. I know my friends from Kampala, you are not in Kenya, but you can join us somehow in the spirit. But if you're in Nairobi and or even outside Nairobi, please come to Nairobi this Friday from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30 p.m. at Radisson Blue in Upper Hill. And the cost is only 4,500. We are going to have more than 15 CEOs in the room, and we're going to have HR directors. We are also going to have the who is who in HR. As you can see on this flyer, we have Newton Ciele, who is a HR at Pharma something. I need to, my eyes, my God. CEO at PTL Pharma Division. We have Martha Cheruto, Deputy CEO, KEPSA. We have James Nyamongo, who is the CEO at the Nairobi Hospital. We have Jen Mutisia, who is the Managing Director at Career Management Center. We have Joseph Choge. Joseph Choge is known as the CEO with a heart. He's the one who used to be, who made people cry when he was leaving Peptang. He's now the CEO at Unga. And then we have Damaris Ndungwa, who is the Director and Lead Strategist at Blue Concept Africa. We have Phyllis Wakiaga. Phyllis Wakiaga is the former CEO of Kenya Association of Manufacturers. I think she just left 2 months ago. And then we have myself, yours truly, CEO at Tata Solutions. And then we have Kuresha Abdullahi. For the people in Kenya and HR professionals, this is our executive director at the Institute of Human Resources. And yes, you get 1 CPD point for those of you who are wondering how to get CPD points for the year. And this is just panelist number 1. I mean, panel number 1. We have another panel, and a lot of people will be in the room, and let's find out, how do we get a seat on the table? What does the CEO want from us? And also, let's also pass the message. What are our expectations from the CEOs? So on Friday from 5:30 p.m. to 9:30, we will be at Radisson Blu. Please join us.
Chris,
Yes, Nairobi is just 45 minutes away. I know, from Uganda, right? Brian, I expect you to see you on Friday. But yes, that is where we will be on Friday. Please join us. Frank, you were saying?
Yeah, I feel God moving me to sponsor one person.
Oh.
But because we cannot just choose anybody anyhow, write a very good concept why you need to be sponsored. Send an email to me and Grace, and then we'll select the person who is very, very deserving, and I'll pay for it.
All right. Excellent. So you guys, you hear that? You hear that? Frank is offering sponsorship to one person to join us on the dinner on Friday. Yes, on the CEO's dinner. Yes, Modesta, may God bless you, Frank. All right, so I think because I can talk forever here, allow me to recognize our partners because it's only important that we do. We have Balcon Housing, we have Stallion Construction Company Limited, we have Pathway Solution Services, Institute of Pension Management, Fina Gardens Resort, Panessa Training Institute, We Clean, Kapula Mintito, the Career Management Center, and Ames College of Business and Technology. So for those of you HR professionals who wish to take on CHRP, you have Institute of Pension Management. For those of you who want to take a holiday, Fina Gardens is there. Balcon Housing is there for your property and real estate. Stallion Construction for all your construction needs. Pathway Solutions for your trainings. We Clean, Kapula Mintito, the Career Management Center. And of course, Atara Solutions. Please, if you have trainings and you're looking for a trainer in your organizations, give us a chance and we are sure to deliver. And yeah, so somebody is saying, Madangani is saying, thanks, Frank, for the sponsorship of one person for the dinner. I am a co-convener for the HR Roundtable, and God bless you. Thank you so much, Madangani Moya, and we really, really appreciate, and I'm sure quite a number of our followers will be able to join us. All right, so Frank, please, maybe you need to resend your email. Please join our group, Atara Solution. It's a WhatsApp group. I've seen Jacinta put in the link on the chat. Okay, wait, this is if you're looking for the link, we will upload this on our YouTube channel. If you want to be updated on what's happening on Atara Solutions, please join our WhatsApp group. Where is our WhatsApp group now, Jacinta? Okay, yeah, so join the Get It Right with Atara Solutions WhatsApp group. Here we go. To be able to get straight updates on what's happening with the Atara Solutions. So as always, see you next week, Tuesday from 8 p.m.
Grace, can I say something, please?
Yeah, yes.
For the organizations that are looking for the training through our RMS, apart from the free ones that we give, we can be able to give you at a very, very good price, promotional discount. So get in touch. Thank you.
All right. Thank you so much. And please take advantage of the free trainings that Frank is offering to you guys. I have seen quite a number of requests, so we will be sure to respond to your requests. If you're looking for company trainings, please also let us know. I've seen individual training requests. So even for your organizations, please do let us know and we'll be able to link you up. At the email address for Frank. Frank has put, oh, Frank, you've sent it to me.
Oh, sorry.
Copy, paste. Sorry, guys. There is Frank's email. All right. So please also just know that you can reach out to us. We probably will be able to support you in one way or another. If you're going through a hard time, we probably will be able to also direct you to people who can support you. But please go ye and grow. Remember your lessons from today. And yes, yes, you are part of this movement. I am glad that we have become a movement. Thank you so much. And see you next Tuesday. And we will plan for a session on setting boundaries. in the near future, so that we can also keep growing. And our Facebook friends, gosh, I even forgot that you guys were there. Kindly keep in touch on narcissists and how to get over them. Okay. We had also done a session on personality disorders. You can check out our YouTube channel. There's a lot of content there. For those who have lost partners, we've done dealing with the loss of a loved one. So you can also check that out. I've seen a comment on Facebook on narcissists. But thank you so much, you guys. Yeah, see you on Friday, Modesta, and everyone else. See you on Friday. For those who are joining us online, see you on Tuesday. But I hope you can see you at the dinner this weekend. Before that, my name is Grace Nzula, moderator of choice, and at Tara Solutions, we are here for you. Please call us if you have trainings in your organizations. Call us if your friends are looking for consultants, and we'll be able to offer those services. Other than that, see you on Friday for those coming for the dinner. And Frank, may God keep blessing you. Catherine Sidandi, we don't know what to do without you. Thank you so much for allowing us to be inclusive. Asante sana.